This is the Russian dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the bubblegum princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
This is the violence artist Salomon Strid from Helsinki, Finland, and you are listening Wrestling with Entertainment. Have fun.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the violent artist, Salomon Strid.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
Happy.
If you want to know me, you can check me out on Facebook and on Instagram. Just type in a violence artist or Salomon Strid. You can find me.
And where can we find merchandise?
I don't have merchandise online. I basically only sell at the live shows.
Okay. All right.
However, you can direct message me on Facebook or Instagram if you want to order a commissioned artwork from me, because that's what I've been doing for some time now.
Definitely awesome. And you could you don't need to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. All right. Let's get into it. You work for FCF. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Well, I've been wrestling for them for the past 12 and a half years now. So I guess the relationship is pretty tight to say the least. I saw their first show ever in 2006 as a teenager, and that's how I knew how I'm going to become a pro wrestler myself. And in 2011, I applied to their training school, and that's where it started. And basically, yeah, that's where I'm stuck.
Is that kind of, obviously, your home promotion, was that kind of like a full circle moment from going from seeing their first show live to actually, competing for them?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the real full circle moments came when I reached the point where I could say that I was a main event level player myself. I had worked with all the best talent at FCF Wrestling. Been wrestling outside of Finland and all the good stuff,
Oh yeah. Just before we came on air, we were just talking about your recent tour of Sweden, correct?
Yeah. We had a group. There was a group of 8 guys from FCF Wrestling. We went out there to Sweden Rock Festival, which is like the biggest rock music festival in the Nordics. And this Stockholm-based promotion, Stockholm Wrestling, had gotten a deal to produce wrestling shows all 4 days of the festival. So we went there. We did what we do best, and now I'm absolutely exhausted.
Because primarily, you're wrestling like maybe once a month in Finland, so I could imagine that it's quite the experience having 4 matches in 4 days. No?
Yeah. It's definitely It's always for me it's a welcomed change in pace. Like there have been a couple of times when I've had a really nice and tight schedule. It really keeps you on your toes, you know. And then some of the other guys were like, "Oh my fucking god, we're not doing this ever again." Because for a couple of them, this was like their first wrestling trip outside of Finland. But I hope that it didn't completely like crush their spirit or anything.
Sweden and Finland's pretty close together, but what are the differences you see wrestling in Finland compared to Sweden?
Well, the crowds are the first thing that comes to mind. Like in Sweden, for some reason, the crowds are absolutely nuts. Like they will go crazy for a headlock takeover, whereas in Finland you gotta work much harder to get anywhere a similar reaction, you know.
I gotcha. Now, speaking of Finland, I don't think there's a bigger star from there than Starbuck. You wrestled him quite a few times. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, it was always very intense experience working with him. Like, I was mainly trained by King Kong Karhula and Jessica Love, but Starbuck also was able to train us quite a few times, and I also many times took part in his special training sessions, so to speak. And my first big push in my career was a feud with Starbuck, and I do like his style, like his intense style of work. You know, yes, it really draws out the best of me as well.
And one of your first rivalries as a pro wrestler is with him. So what does that kind of mean to you, to kind of be trusted to be with, you know, essentially the godfather of Finnish wrestling?
Yeah, it felt kind of intimidating at first. Like obviously back then I wasn't as self confident as I am now, and I was still green as goose shit, still making a ton of mistakes. But the FCF upper ups saw something in me, and they gave me this opportunity. And there were some really cool moments, a couple of good promos, angles, and some especially this one. Especially the blow-off match that we had. It was a submission match that went on for like maybe 15-17 minutes. The most important match of my career at that point. That's a pretty good memory.
No, I can imagine this is a great memory as well. You was the FCF Finnish heavyweight champion. What did it mean to you to hold that title?
Well, back obviously it was a big honor. I mean, the booking situation, or the all around situation, it wasn't ideal. I mean, I've always thought that maybe the actual championship run could have been better, but because they basically did it or put the belt on me out of necessity, because we needed a more solid main event for our biggest show of the year than what we would have had if they didn't put the belt on me. So I just really quickly won the title with this kind of like a Money in the Bank cash in angle, and then basically I almost the next show was the biggest show of the year, and then I lost the belt almost immediately. So if you think of it like that, it's not the greatest title run, but I've been trying. But lately I've been thinking about the separate moments that were included, like just the way I won that sort of Money in the Bank briefcase. I won a big Royal Rumble style match first, and then in the exact same night I cashed it in to get to win the championship, and that's when I also repackaged myself as Salomon Strid, because previously my name was Ricky Vendetta, and I had grown tired of that dumb generic name, so I wanted to reinvent myself a little bit at the same time. So that was the perfect opportunity for that. And then eventually that title match where I dropped the belt, I say it's still one of my favorites in my entire career. So there's that. It's not all bad.
I could honestly, that's a lot of good if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not nothing winning, that championship. Even though it was for a short amount of time, you're still in the record books.
Yeah.
On top of that, you won the Frank Anderson Nordic Wrestling Championship as well. Obviously Frank Anderson, a big name, a well-respected name. So what did it mean to you to win that title? That's still one of my biggest accomplishments in my career. Like to get to have a foreign promoter have faith in me to carry a title and represent his company. It was a very big deal, and it was a bit quite a slog to win that title as well. I wrestled like 3 matches that night. The first match was under a mask gimmick, so it didn't actually like tie into that. But then was the number 1 contender match, which was a really tough match. The goddamn air quality in the venue was horrible. It was so hard to breathe in there. And even in the second match, under the mask, but then even after that, the second match it felt even worse, and then I had to do the actual title match that same night. But still, it was. I think we pulled it off really well, and the crowd. I remember the crowd reaction being very, very good. Like they absolutely hated my guts because the title holder at that moment was this super likable high flyer Timmy Force, but he had broken his arm like a month or so ago, so he couldn't properly defend the title. So we did this championship switch because of that, and yeah, I just beat him up in like 5-6 minutes, and won the title. It basically like basically a heel comes in takes advantage of the hero's injury and steals the championship. So it was a really good reaction, a really good moment. Is that a moment you take in the moment, or is that something that kind of sets in afterwards, like, wow, I did this?
Yeah, it definitely took some time to really sink in. Like backstage, I was like, holy fucking shit! I actually fucking did this. a champion outside of Finland. So it's very, very rare in FCF wrestling. So it felt quite amazing.
Okay. Now, can you tell us about your current tag team partner? I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Orokowski?
Yeah. Actually, our team just broke up in the last show.
Oh, so your former tag team partner.
Yeah. My former tag team partner. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's super athletic and like a very natural baby face. Yeah, he's gonna go and do some single stuff in the fall when we start running shows again. Yeah, I suspect really good things from him, you know. And but yeah, my current tag team partner is actually my own spouse. I've been with her for like 4 years now, and then I suggested this storyline to our bookers. Hey, I kind of want to help her take the next step in her career. So maybe we can do like a storyline that ends with us forming a team. So we will be teaming up this fall onwards.
Okay. And that does beg the question, what are the advantages and disadvantages of tag teaming with your significant other?
I think the obvious advantage is that you know each other inside and out. I even trained her when she started. And don't really know about disadvantages yet. You should get back to me in a few months and maybe ask me again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm predicting good things for us.
Oh yeah. Now, obviously, you know, we're talking about you wrestling in Finland. We're talking about you wrestling in Sweden. The one thing that I found very interesting is that you wrestled in my neck of the woods, and that's in California for Hoodslam.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Actually, the Hoodslam owner, Dark Sheik, originally we first met here in Finland because she was traveling Europe. She had heard that Finland is a cool place to work, and she I don't know how she ended up there, but yeah, she worked like this medieval festival thing with us, where we ran a few shows over the week there, and we got to know each other, and then maybe like a couple of years later, I contacted her and then I told her that I would be flying. I was thinking about flying myself over, do some training over there. So would you have some work for me as well? And she was like, yeah. Well, I can book you, and that's where I basically started. You know, that was my foot in the door, and I was able to wrestle for a couple of other promotions as well, and train at a couple of different schools. And then in 2018, I did my second trip to California, and again, obviously, I worked for Hoodslam and a couple of other promotions like the Best of the West, East Bay Pro Wrestling, Virgil Flynn Third Productions. I got people like that. It was two of the absolutely best trips of my life.
How would you compare the wrestling in America compared to Finland?
In America, I'd say it's definitely more fast-paced. Like in Finland, we always put story and drama first. So we always take things nice and slow. Keep things simple in the ring, because Finland isn't a wrestling country. You know, we even though we draw some really good crowds with FCF wrestling, most of them, like 90% of them, aren't wrestling fans, so they don't know. They don't know friggin' Canadian Destroyer from a moonsault or anything like that. So you don't have to do you don't necessarily have to do those things to get them excited, but instead you have a good character, have a good nice slow pace in the match, work the crowd. That's when you get really far. But in America, in those indie promotions that I worked in, the pace was super fast. Like, you know, it was very like spots. You know, like I was like, okay, guys, come on, let's slow down a little bit. You know, let's stop and sell. But still, I love the experience. I love working with those guys. So many good people, and I'd absolutely would love to do at least one more trip over there before I quit wrestling for good.
Oh yeah. You know, I usually ask this question because I just love, you know, different cultures, and the best way to learn about a culture is food. So I am genuinely curious. What were you eating in America?
Well, a lot of I have to try some different fast food restaurants. Obviously, I remember Jack in the Box being really good. Like super fucking greasy and salty, but it was really fucking good.
Yes, Jack in the Box will take years off your life.
yeah, exactly. And I can't remember much, but yeah, obviously some like a bit more Mexican food. I ended up trying, obviously, because I was mostly staying at Stoner U, you know, the Hoodslam school.
Okay.
So and close to them, they had a place that sold these Mexican cuisines. So I tried a lot of those. Those are super good. And then there was this Chinese takeout place where I pretty much every morning I got breakfast from, and it was so delicious. Like, you know, just, you know, scrambled eggs and sausages and some pancakes. It was so freaking good. Mostly, and then during the day I had to survive on like convenience store stuff. So didn't really have the time or the budget to go to that many different restaurants in the end.
I gotcha. Well, you're definitely making me hungry with all these recommendations.
Yeah.
Alright. I think that's a great segue into Salomon's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Well, one thing that comes to mind. This is a pretty popular story. In like 2013, we made a road trip to northern parts of Finland in Rovaniemi. There was this rock music festival, Simerock, and they wanted a wrestling show from us. So we went up there. The first thing we noticed that oh shit, our tour bus, which also carried the ring, can't make it that close to the stage on which we were supposed to wrestle. So we had to like divide the ring in two parts, drive it up there in a smaller van twice, and then it was like this amphitheater kind of setup that with really tricky stairs. I'm surprised nobody broke their foot or anything, or going down, carrying stuff up and down those things. And it was really cutting it close that our show starting time didn't like we weren't late, they didn't start late. And then like the first two matches had to go backstage and start getting ready for their matches even before the ring was completely set up.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm backstage. I'm already in my gear, and then I realize, oh fuck, I gotta take a shit. So I go to the porta potty. I do my business. I get out. I noticed, oh my fucking god, there's a brown fucking stain on my wrist tapes.
Oh no.
I try to rub it out a little bit, and then, but immediately at that moment I realized, oh fuck, my match is next. I don't even have time to like put some more tape on top of it. So I immediately go into match mode, and it pretty much almost immediately forget about the stain as well. I just get in the ring, and the first thing that I do in the match, and this was not intentional, I just smack the guy square in the face with the poop hand. And I even myself realized this, realized what had happened. Maybe like hours after the show, we were getting the ring back into the bus. It was like 1 a.m. or something like that. We were all dead tired, and that's when I realized what had happened. And my opponent is standing right there, and I tell him what had happened, and he looked at me like he caught me having sex with his sister or something. All the while I'm curled up on the floor laughing my fucking ass off.
Yeah, that's definitely a bizarre adventure for him, to say the least.
Yeah. It became a meme between the two of us.
Fantastic story. Now you are the violent artist, and that's not necessarily a gimmick. You are an incredible artist. Can you tell us about your art?
Thank you. Well, I've been drawing basically ever since like third grade or something. I was really into comic books even back then, and I wanted to draw like the artists in those comic books. And I was also always very into horror stuff. Like especially just cool looking monsters when I was a kid. Didn't matter if a movie was good or bad, as long as it had a cool looking monster, I was happy. And so I also just drew a lot of monsters and horrifying stuff, even in the elementary school. But yeah, and I just kept at it. There was like a small hiatus for a few years. I just didn't have like the proper motivation or the energy to draw anything for a few years. But then actually when I signed on to Instagram, I came across all these super cool artists and these art tutorials. And that's when I kind of reignited this spark for art, and that's when I started to really improve my craft again. And I'd like to think that I've improved a lot over the I don't know 7 or 8 years or so, and right now I'm actually trying to do my first comic book, like and like this horror style anthology comic book. Since like in last September, a friend of mine dragged my ass to the Helsinki Comic Book Festival, and there they had all these small time independent comic book creators, and I'm like holy fuck, I gotta do something. Like I really gotta how should I say, step up and start working on my own comic, because I had been talking about it for years, but I never actually got into working on it, because I always kept thinking like, I'm not good enough yet. I still gotta practice this and this and this. But then I just realized, fuck it, I'm gonna improve as I work on the comic book. And that's what I've been doing. Like I've been able to complete like 32 pages right now.
Oh, wow.
over the past nine months now. It's a really slow process, but still I've enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm really satisfied with the results so far, and I'm super excited for it. I just gotta wait until I have at least one of the stories ready before I contact any like publishers.
Right.
Because I talked to this very accomplished Finnish comic book artist, and I asked him some pointers, and he told me that you should have something ready before you go to any publishers with your work, like, because they get a ton of like messages from people like, hey, can you publish my comic book? Would you be interested? But they haven't actually started on working on it, and then it just usually they just give up on it at some point. So they don't bother other if you don't have a finished story, before you go to them.
Well, obviously a comic book is a different animal when it comes to drawing and artistry. So how did you kind of go about, because there's multiple panels. So how did you go about that compared to, just one singular, picture?
I'm just trying to take it easy, and just focus on it, one panel at a time. I remember when I was younger and I tried to do these shitty little comic book stories, and I would just rush them, as fast as possible, and it was horrible. But right now I'm trying to take it slow, trying to do it right. Like I wrote the scripts first, and then I did like a quick panel script as well, where I carefully planned the angles or the best shots for dramatic effect. So it feels it's kind of slower, so it's a lot slower, but it feels so much better. It feels pretty easy, and it doesn't get boring, because every panel is different, and in every panel there's some kind of a new challenge for me, especially at this point. Like certain drawing people from certain angles is still really challenging. So it still takes a lot of patience, a lot of trial and error to see what works. But I've been very happy so far with what I've done.
And you mentioned, writing the script. Was the story something you already had in mind, or was it something you had to develop during all of this process?
The story came to me like maybe a year ago, or actually a little over a year ago. Actually, the main inspiration for the first story was this really dumb slasher movie called Sweatshop, and it's super dumb. It's super cheesy. It's got bad acting, bad dialogue, horrible characters. But I just love that movie. It's one of my favorite like trashy B horror movies. And it's a very generic setup, sort of like a bunch of young adults go to this abandoned warehouse and they start setting up a rave party, and then there's obviously this monster heel killer lurking around. So that kind of inspired me to do something similar. I'm trying to make this first story into this kind of like a slasher story, basically. That a little bit that has some of the tropes of the subgenre, because I love that subgenre, and it's a lot of fun, and it's in the end it's a very simple premise, so it's a good way to start, you know.
Right.
For a first comic book story, because these first stories aren't even supposed to be like these magnificent, thought-provoking pieces of art. I just want to do something fun and entertaining, and get better as an artist while doing them, you know. And then I would have my like best story ideas. I will save them for later, and that when I'm really hopefully when I've already been published like a couple of times and gotten even better, and I've written like proper scripts. That's when I start working on like my, you know, magnum opus, so to speak.
I gotcha. Well, you know, I think that's a segue into, you know, obviously you're talking about horror. Can you tell us about your love of the horror genre?
Yeah, I've many times I've wondered where it actually comes from. I've been like I said, even as a small child, like 7 or 8 years old, I was really into these cool-looking monsters, and in my 20s, I think it's finally hit me, because, you know, I watched Disney. I rewatched Disney's Beauty and the Beast after many years, and that's when I hit me like this has to be that started my love of horror. Because I started thinking there is a lot of like horror movie-ish imagery in that movie.
There is.
Like, you know, Beast's castle is kind of intimidating. You know, it's very dark and very gothic and very atmospheric. And then the one thing that really clicked me was this was the scene where Beast throws Belle's dad into that living carriage to send him back into the village, and that carriage is like this fucking almost like a spider-like thing, you know, right, that walks on 4 legs, and it looked so fucking horrifying. And I was like, yeah, okay, this has to be the thing that started my love of horror movies. And then obviously in the climax there is like a fucking living chest that eats a dude alive, and then this living wardrobe jumps from the second floor and crushes a dude to death. And I mean, it's actually a pretty intense freaking movie. So it has to be where it all started. Now that I think about it, you know.
not a lot of people have attributed Beauty and the Beast as a horror movie, but I dig it.
Yeah, yeah. I've told this to a lot of people, and they think about it for a minute, and I'm like, son of a bitch, you got a point.
I'm just trying to replay the movie in my mind right now. I was like, yeah.
Rewatch it with and think about what I said, about the goddamn kind of like spider-looking carriage and all that stuff, I think it'll make sense.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching that movie with different glasses on.
Yeah. You will never look at it the same way.
Now, looking at some of your art, I do notice some anime inspiration. Fan of anime?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been since I was a kid, and my spouse is also fortunately also a really big anime fan. We've been watching Demon Slayer together. As the episodes get dropped, we watch them together, and we watched Attack on Titan together. It was such a good show. One of the best I think I've ever seen. And let's see. Hellsing Ultimate is also one of my favorites, and Basilisk, which is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story, but with ninjas killing each other left and right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Attack on Titan. How did you feel about Eren's heel turn?
I was shocked, and the way they built up to the reveal. I think it's one of the best like twists I think I've ever seen in a work of fiction. I absolutely love it, or that's how I feel now that I've only watched it once. I feel like I should watch the whole show again from start to finish, and then maybe like let it all simmer, and then maybe like get even a better feel for it. But right now I feel like it's one of the best reveals or twists I've ever seen. It was. I was like thinking about it like several days after that twist happened,
Yeah. Did you find the ending satisfying? Because some people kind of go one way or the other with it.
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, I was kind of happy thinking that, okay, maybe the other main characters lived happily ever after, because my God, they fucking deserved it.
They did.
But then they had to put that fucking cliffhanger at the end of the end credits. I was like, my fucking God, no. Now I'm gonna be like dwelling on it, for days on end. Man, but yeah, I do. But mostly I do like the ending.
I don't think the end credit scene was meant to set up a new series per se, just to kind of show you that it continues. It doesn't, it didn't end.
Yeah,
it's a it's the cycle that they've been talking about through the whole show.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, didn't they announce like a sequel series a few months ago?
Did they?
I think I read some. Yeah, I think I read something about it. I kind of hope that it's not true, because I think the show and the series is perfect as it is.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be duplicated.
Yeah.
They tried that with Boruto.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned Demon Slayer. I'm not caught up with this current season, but how did you feel about the season prior to that? I believe it was the Entertainment District.
No, it was the Swordsmith Village arc.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it, but yeah, actually the Entertainment District arc is actually my favorite. Probably because Ducky and her brother are such cool and memorable villains, and Tengen Uzui is also such a really great character, and there was a lot of great comedy in that arc, thanks to Inosuke and Zenitsu. But since they were absent from the Swordsmith Village arc, there wasn't as much good comedy relief.
Well, yeah.
In that arc, but still I think it was a really good arc. But I can't remember that Upper Moon's name. The guy who split himself into different emotions. That was also he was also a pretty cool villain.
Upper Five.
Really, Upper Five. Yeah, he was also a very memorable and cool looking villain.
It seemed like he was just incredibly hard to kill, especially Upper Four. It should be Upper Four should have been the harder one to kill, and the Hashira just ended him rather quickly and easily, if I'm being honest. It was Five. He was the guy living in that fucking clay pot, was it? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you would have thought that 4 would have been harder to kill than 5, but hey, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm still satisfied. The fights were amazing again.
Definitely. Okay. Can you tell us if there is any meaning behind your tattoos?
The basic meaning is that I'm a huge nerd who loves horror. Almost every tattoo that I have is from the horror genre. Like the tattoo on my chest, it's the hex charm from Supernatural, one of my favorite TV shows, and the small tattoo on my left bicep, that's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is my number one favorite TV show ever. And on my left shoulder, I have the lament configuration from Hellraiser. There's the first Hellraiser is my favorite horror movie ever. And on my right forearm, there's a picture of H.P. Lovecraft, one of my favorite authors. I love his short stories. I love the themes of his horror stories, like the fear of the unknown, fear of the vast, infinite space and deep dark oceans. That shit fucking terrifies me. So his stories really work well for me. And yeah, on the back of my neck, I have the brand of sacrifice from Berserk, which is my favorite manga or comic book out of everything.
Okay. Is there any plans for new ink?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's tons of new ideas and plans, but I just gotta get the money somehow for it. There's been multiple times where I probably could have afforded some new ink, but I always end up using that money for new wrestling gear. But I'll be getting some new gear this summer. So hopefully after that I'm able to save some money for some new ink. Finally, because I feel incomplete on that regard. I want some new art on my skin fast.
Clearly, a Beauty and the Beast tattoo is next, right?
You know that would make a lot of sense. I could probably go for that rose, or or maybe just some cool image of the beast would be nice. Yeah, definitely.
Now, you were a part of a TV show. I hope that I'm pronouncing this right. Kotio and Parmas?
Oh yeah, Kontio at Parmas. Yeah. Funny how you knew that. I had no idea.
I do my research.
Yeah. It was like a police comedy show done by this legendary comedy group Kummeli here in Finland, where they started out in the 80s as like this skit comedy show, and they've made several movies over the years. Some of them are my all-time childhood favorite comedies that I still watch as an adult. And then can't remember how I got the part, but for that's like extra part in one of their episodes. But I was super glad I did, and I got to meet a couple of the legendary Kummeli guys. Got to chat with them a little bit. Got to take a photo with them. So it was a super cool experience.
They kind of sound like Mighty Python-esque, no?
A little bit, yeah, but I think Monty Python is a little bit zanier. It's hard to explain. British humor is very different from Finnish humor, I think.
I think Mighty Python humor is just different from anything.
Yeah, I love Monty Python as well.
Same here. Keeping up on things you've been in, you were part of a music video for Lordi. How did that come about?
Yeah. One of our wrestlers, Jessica Love, was their like prop. What's the word? Should I say prop manager or prop master? Like she would go, she would work with them on their tours, create all these stage props, help with the prosthetic makeups and all that stuff. So she asked me and my girlfriend if we wanted to be in the next music video for Borderline, and we were like, hell yeah, let's do it. So it was a lot of fun. We filmed the thing in this huge warehouse. I think that's the place where they usually keep their big props, between world tours and such. It was a lot of fun. Mr. Lordi was a really cool and fun guy. Like he also loves horror movies, obviously. So we got to talking about horror movies, especially the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. And he told us a fun story about being at Ozfest this one year, maybe around, I don't know, 2007, 2008. But like after that, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning had come out. That's prequel movie with R. Lee Ermey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently Andrew Bruniarski, the guy who played Leatherface, apparently he was a part of Zach Wilde's entourage, and he was like, and apparently the role had kind of like he had got like, maybe should I say, gotten stuck on the role, like he couldn't get out of it. He was talking about himself in third person as Leatherface. Like he was like, Leatherface wants another beer, stuff like that. And he would just, you know, like sit down at the dinner table and start eating with his hands, not use any utensils or anything. And his face and his beard was like full of food crumbs and scraps, and it was it sounded disgusting. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Really cool story. I like those movies, so it was fun to hear that.
And you mentioned, Jessica does the prosthetics. The prosthetics that you had on your face, did she make that?
I don't know. It was actually just a very simple, kind of like a rubber mask.
Okay.
That you put on. It had like a rubber band to keep keep it on. So it wasn't like I didn't have to sit in the makeup chair for hours on end. And it was just put on the mask and go out there.
That's actually pretty impressive because it looked a lot more intricate than that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, they did a really good job, like, you know, stretching out the budget, so to speak. Obviously, there was a ton of other makeup effects that took a little bit longer, but yeah, I don't think they had that much of a budget, but they made it work really well.
Okay. Well, I think that's a great segue into the colossal question. Let's say that they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
I'd say Leather Teeth by Carpenter Brute.
Okay.
And maybe Power by Sierra, and Graveyard Shift by Dance with the Dead.
Okay, solid 3 picks there.
Yeah, I love dark synthwave. It's perfect for like horror. It's perfect for horror movies, action movies, almost anything you can think of. The atmosphere always goes through the roof.
Now that we have the music down, the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Yeah, Vin Diesel is me, obviously. Slap a fake goatee on him, and he's good to go. I mean, we almost look alike, right? With a bald head and everything, deep manly voice.
Are you saying that Vin Diesel couldn't just grow facial hair?
Yeah, I need to see proof first, some kind of proof.
Fair enough. All right. Now every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them? Well,
definitely my mom. And I would definitely want Jamie Lee Curtis playing her. She's one of my favorite actresses all time, and they basically have the same haircut already. So there's that.
Okay.
and then there's obviously my girlfriend Reimi. It would be a bit more difficult to cast her. She's half Japanese. God, I can't think of a lot of Japanese native actresses off the top of no, actually, I'd say Karen Fukuhara.
Okay.
Yeah, I like her. And then let's have Mickey Rourke play Starbuck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sounding like an incredible movie, a blockbuster to say the least.
Absolutely.
And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Yeah.
All right. On to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I love it. I get it almost every time.
So
I love the mix of like sweet and salty flavors.
So you're very pro pineapple on pizza.
Hell yeah.
All right. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Probably what was the name of those fighter Pokemon? Was it Machamp? Probably with the four huge arms. Obviously looks like a pro wrestler.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Now we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Doug? THUG.
Actually, I don't think I do.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. 'Cause a Doug can't spell.
Okay. That makes sense.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his matches, and I remember liking them, but I don't think I've looked up, actively looked up his other matches, and I think I should.
He's definitely worth a Google, I would say.
Yeah.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Oh man, it depends. Would it be like a nice smooth Rock, or a very or with a lot of like jagged edges?
I would say it's more bumpy than smooth.
Oh, if I did, I would keep it short and sweet. Gotta spare the body.
I gotcha.
Yeah, he sounds stiff. Could hurt me.
Well, just for context, there's a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. He didn't win either.
Of course.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'm hopefully a published comic book artist by then, at least, and maybe I hope I'm able to win maybe 1 or 2 championship titles by then as well.
Any specific title you're looking for?
Well, the at least the FCF tag team titles once more. and maybe the Nordic wrestling title once again, and maybe have like at least one more good runs, a couple of more good runs with those belts, or you never know, maybe something else might come around. I just need to get really back into training. I've been having some, I don't know, kind of health issues that have made training a bit more difficult for me this past month or so. Didn't really train before that Sweden Rock Festival thing because of all the time and energy consuming stress. But now that there's like over a month till our next show, I should be able to get back on track and get back into proper ring shape.
I thought so. Alright, and what is a match people should go out of their way to see? They should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about as a pro wrestler.
Well, there's that championship match against King Kong Karhula from our biggest show, Talvisota. That is on YouTube. It's one of my favorites. And then there's from last year's February, when I was in Stockholm, Sweden, I wrestled Aliss Inc. For the number one contender spot for the Nordic wrestling title. That is also one of my favorite matches. Aliss is an amazing talent, and then there's also my match against Ioni from I think it was 2018 or 2019 Talvisota. We had a great story, great setup for that match. I had broken his forearm a couple of shows before because he needed his forearm for his finishing maneuver, and in that match he wasn't allowed to use his cast as a weapon. So we worked a really good story around that, and the crowd was so freaking into it. It's also one of my absolute favorites. Like those are the three matches that I would suggest people check out.
Sounds like old school pro wrestling to me.
Yeah, in the at least in the Aliss Inc. match, there's also some more fast-paced spots, and it was also like well over it was over a 20-minute main event style match. So there's a lot. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of like hope spots, near falls and falsies, and all that good stuff.
And
but still, yeah, I'll
continue.
Oh yeah, but still, yeah, I like to keep things slow and simple for people to be able to really latch on, and maybe have a little bit of a breather every once in a while, and then get the feeling, back up.
Right. And you mentioned that those matches were on YouTube. I will grab them from the links, and I will put them in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, for anybody that hasn't seen them, wants to re-see them after this interview.
Okay, nice.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, or bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Okay. Oh God.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Bret Hart.
Worst wrestler.
Worst. So so many possibilities. Cliff Pettersson, a Swedish guy.
Okay. Your main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Shawn Michaels.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Finn Balor.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Kayfabe is fun.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Fruit. I prefer fruit.
It is indeed a fruit. It has seeds. Tomato logic.
Yeah.
New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
I think you are allowed to show some under cheek for the ladies, and why not for some of the guys either.
So around 10%, you would say.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
Unfortunately, no.
And that is the correct answer.
Yeah.
And
That was my guess. That would have been my guess.
And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And once again, where can we find all things Salomon Strid on social media?
Facebook and Instagram. Those are enough for me.
Okay. And you can get commissions from you by DMing you, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn photo.
Yeah.
He literally draws them. Alright. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay?
Yep.
For our special guest, Salomon Strid, Calico Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.